welcome to Obi Acres. It's December 27th. It's 2 days after Christmas, and we just went through a really cold spell. It's starting to warm up now, but it was below zero several days and never really got much above zero, even during the day, all through the weekend. It's Tuesday and started Friday. It got cold. It was frigid cold for 4 days right through Christmas. So I thought it'd be a good time to review the wood burner. This a couple of people have asked me about it, how it's doing, so I thought I'd do one this morning. I just put it in. I didn't buy it new. It's almost new, but I bought it used off a guy because he wanted a bigger one. He needed to get it. He's putting a big shop up and all that, but I put it in this summer. And I touched the line in it, as you can see, and ran the electric. I got electric running out here, and I just laid it on these slabs. I'm gonna have to re-level it this summer because it's leaning a little bit, but basically this is a Heatmaster g100, and I think they changed this model a little bit. The new one's a little bigger. It's got kind of a small firebox. I don't know what the BTU output is. I guess it's probably 100, maybe it's 100,000. That's what they're saying. But this is a gasification furnace, so it actually burns down in this chamber here. If you can see the fire down in there, and that's a downdraft. So if I can open, I should open that, but you can see the fire in there. It actually pulls it down in that refractory tube, they call it. I think it was what it called. But this is your bypass lever. You're supposed to pull that when you want to open the door, and what that does, that bypasses the refractory and it puts it right out the chimney, so the smoke goes away. And you can get in there and look. But I just fired it this morning. And here's a controller. It says it's at 169 degrees is 100%. The damper's 100% open, so I'm just trying to. I got the water temperature set at 175. Normally it's default to 180, but my house, I found in the spring, it was getting, in the fall here, it'll get too hot, and it was going in the high limit. So I cut it back to have it, so it gives a little leeway, because at 100 and, here's the back part, here's the pumps. This is the fan, that's the induction fan, and then that's your pump that goes to the house, and that's just a recirculation, we call it a shunt pump, that just keeps the water circulating in the furnace. But I turned it down to 175. The high limit's I think 185. This light will come on saying it's too hot, and then at 189 or 190 it shuts the whole thing completely down, and the power and everything. It did that this fall because it wasn't that cold. And I got up this morning, I filled it last night for like at 10 o'clock before I went to bed, and turned it on. And this morning I didn't get out here till like 7:30, and it was almost out. But it's amazing. I got this, it was down to like 145 degrees, but it's got this cold start button too. That's how you start the fire, to get the fan to start. But I put a few pieces of wood in there an hour ago, and it's already up to 100 and almost 170 already. But this is, the way it works is it burns the gases down in that refractory chamber, and then there's tubes in the back, these tubes that the gases go out, and they're really hot. I don't know what the temperature, you can get online and look, but it gets really hot. That's really how it heats the water. That's actually how it heats the water, and it heats it really fast and very efficient. And you can see it's not a very big firebox. If I fill it up, it'll last all night. But this cart, this is my dad's old cart that he built years ago for wood and stuff, which I haven't used in years, but I'm starting to use it now. We fill it up and I back it over here, and this has so far lasted about a week. We filled this last Wednesday, heaped it up, and now it's Tuesday and we still got some wood left. So about that cart lasts about a week. And then And it really don't matter. It doesn't seem to matter if it's like it was extremely cold or if it's not real cold. It uses about the same amount because that's the way it works. Because it's not in that firebox. I mean, that helps heat the water some, but that ain't really where the main heating goes. It's coming from the refractory tubes in the back, and them gases go up. Them gases get like, I don't know how many. I guess that you get online, maybe 300 or 400 degrees. I don't know, but this is how you're supposed to. Like augers in there that you pull down that tube, and that's how you clean the creosote or the buildup in there to keep it from getting all built up in it. Like I say, so far it's worked real good. I think that thing's like 3 years old, and it's simple. The Heatmaster, and I'm not trying to tout either one. I don't know. I've only had this a short time. I like it so far. I mean, I really like it so far. But the Heatmaster, I've been told, is the only one that's completely stainless. I mean, most of them have a stainless outer water jacket, I think. But most, like the other one, the Central Boiler and the Crown Royal, I think they have a cast iron fire chamber. Don't quote me on that, but I know this one's the only one that's completely stainless. But they're all, I think, them three, the Heatmaster, the Crown Royal, and the Central Boiler, they're the three highest rated ones. But this one don't have, this one's a little simpler, I think, as far as the controls, because the Central Boiler has the wireless control where you can hook it, monitor on your phone, which would be nice. But I was gonna buy one of them new, but I found it. My son found this one, and I'm happy with it so far. But I'll show you inside here. So if we go down here, this is the pipe I ran in the house. I'm gonna block this off, but I ran it over, and it runs into my furnace. I got it running into my water heater. And then I got a valve where I can bypass the furnace if I just want to heat the water only. But I got a plate heat exchanger that heats the water going into the water heater. And then this is my heat exchanger in the furnace. I just got a heat pump. And then what I did is I bought this from that all heating, but this Aquastat, I got it set at 120, and it monitors the temperature of the water. And if it's above 120, it kicks out the heat pump. In here, it opens up the contacts, and then so the fan only comes on, and it heats. And the only thing that I might do is I'm going to put a unit heater, a heat exchanger. I'm going to hang it here, and I'm going to plumb it in to heat this space because it gets kind of cold in here when it got really cold out. And that way I could heat this, have a separate thermostat on and keep it warm. But that's my review on the Heatmaster. People have been asking me about it. Say it kept the house really warm. When it got really cold, it did kick in the emergency heat because the fan kicks up faster, but it only comes on for a second and it shuts off. But the house is a lot warmer than the heat pump was. But it heats the hot water. Our electric bill was down like $100 from the months, like previous months. I think next month will even be less. But just trying to, we like to burn wood. Okay, we had a wood burner for years, and we didn't have it for a couple of years, and we had all this wood. We got a bunch of we own land with fence rows. And wife and I like to cut wood, and we have to cut wood to keep stuff cleaned up anyhow. So it ain't like, well, you got to cut wood. Well, I like cutting wood. I like the exercise and getting out, and it has to be done anyhow. And I got so much firewood, I just soon use it. So, but the only thing I could run a pipe over to my shop because I got floor heat in my shop, but I wasn't. The pipe's expensive, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work, but this thing would heat the shop too, even this little one, because our house is insulated really well, and it only needs it. If it gets really windy, that's when it struggles to keep. This thing don't struggle to keep up. The furnace struggles to keep up, but it would heat the shop. Now, when it got really cold, it would struggle. But then you just, when it does that, you just back off on the, you can just turn the thermostat up. You can turn off the heat, the wood burner going to the shop, or you back it off to where it ain't struggling as much. But I don't know if we'll do that or not. It'd be a big project. It's probably 200 feet over to that shop, and it's not the easiest thing to get to, but maybe. I mean, I don't keep it that warm in there. I keep it at 50, so it's not a big deal. But I wanted to get this going first. But that's my review on it, and so far I really like it, and I'll keep you posted on how it does in the future. Thanks for watching.